Hey everybody, this is Sherilyn. Coming to you live for Saturday Night Live. I'm going to be coming live every Saturday until Election Day. Election Day is December 5th. Not going to be formal. I'm just going to introduce myself to my new friends and followers, tell you what's happening along the campaign trail. For those who haven't had a chance to follow me before, who don't know who I am, I'm going to give you a quick introduction. And I am going to take some time to allow some people to get in the room. My name is Sherilyn Miles. I'm a mom of 5. Been a prosecutor for the last 5 years. Prior to that, I worked at a couple of defense firms in New Orleans. And I also worked for the 4th Circuit Court of Appeal. And so, I know before people get in the room, I have to tell everybody thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for the huge outpouring of support on Election Day. I appreciated all the calls, all the supports, all the people that volunteered to help, all my workers. But I've been getting calls and I've been people stopping me like, why do you still have signs out? It is not over. It is not over till it's over. We made the runoff. Everybody came and represented well in great numbers. I won St. John Parish. Judge Gravois won St. James Parish. We do not have much time to campaign for the runoff. Early voting starts this Friday, November 20th. The next week is Thanksgiving week. So you're going to have a day off from early voting for Thanksgiving. Bayou Classic is canceled, so you can't use that as an excuse not to vote if you don't get to vote before Thanksgiving. And then early voting ends on November 28th. I am asking everybody to continue to do the same things I have been asking you to do. And that is to 1, pray for me. 2, tell your friends and your family to vote for me. Spread the word and vote for me. Those 3 things: pray for me, vote for me, tell your friends and family to vote for me. I got so many people approaching me after Election Day saying, we don't understand how you did it. I said I was not going to play the political game. I'm coming to you with the truth. As I talked to voters, I realized most people did not even know what the Court of Appeal was or why it existed. So, like I say, I'm a mom. I'm a homeschool mom. I have the passion that I have. When I see an injustice, I want to fight it, because I'm the little kid who was reading books about civil rights from the time I was a little kid. And so I'm willing to sacrifice everything and put everything on the line. And I know it's not what you're supposed to say as a politician. That's why I'm coming to you as I am. But I don't want to just smile. I don't want to just pay workers and then say vote for me. I want people to understand how the courts of appeal work. I want them to understand the significance of the Court of Appeal. And I want them to understand how it affects not only what happens in the lower courts, but also how it affects courts across the state of Louisiana. And so tonight I'm here. A lot of people, they're like, how have you been living in St. John? And a lot of us don't know you. You've been living here your whole adult life. Before I started campaigning, I never stepped foot in a club in St. John or St. James Parish. I never went to any pop-up shop, ever. I never did a lot of the things that I'm so glad I'm having the opportunity to do while I'm campaigning, because I am meeting so many amazing people. When I first started campaigning, my team, they were just like, Sherilyn, be a good politician. Sherilyn, put on makeup. Sherilyn, wear red lipstick. Sherilyn, put on a suit for your lives. Sherilyn, get some law books behind you. And I tried, and that wasn't me. What I found that works is just being myself, coming to you as I am, and going to the voters as I am and just speaking my truth. I don't want to play any political games. Like I say, I am here because I want to make a difference in the community. I always have to throw in stuff because my kids watch the videos and stuff, and other people's kids watch. Um, so you know, I have these books, all kinds of books. But you know, I don't have time to read a lot of books like I used to read in college and high school. All I read are children's books for the most part now. But you know, when I'm reading my kids, when I'm reading them these books, Martin Luther King is never just standing there smiling. You know, he's speaking, and he's speaking with passion. That is how change happens. You know, I never heard of him having to like pay people to march with him. They marched with him because they believed in a cause. So when you ask me how I did it when all the cards were stacked against me, when I didn't have people making phone calls, when I didn't have 100 people waving signs, when I didn't have people knocking on doors, I went, and I will continue to go sincerely to the people and speak the truth. Speak to them what I will do when I get on the Fifth Circuit and why it is important. And I find that when I do that, people understand and they want to stand with me. And so for all of my supporters, all the people who did the simple things that I asked you to do, you know, pray for me, tell your friends and family to support me, and vote for me. I appreciate you, and it has shown up. And I won St. John, but now I got to win St. James. So I need St. John and St. James to be competing over the next 3 weeks to see who can get the most people out to vote for me. I can tell you Judge Gravois supporters were taken by storm. They were literally coming to me like, where did you come from? You know, what I said going into this race is I knew I was David facing Goliath. I know I'm not rich. And not only am I rich, I've been a public servant for the last 5 years, and I quit my job to do this. I know what manna is. That is one thing I know for certain. Because even days when I was like, what am I going to eat? Y'all were there like, Sherilyn, you're not leaving my house till you eat today. And so everything has been a blessing. I have met the most amazing people campaigning. And I've loved every moment of it, especially with the people. I'm going to admit sometimes the politicians, I'm going to slap y'all. If y'all tell me one more time, I can't do this. I can't do it if I don't raise $10,000. My opponent paid over $17,000 to black men and women to work for him on election day. I didn't have $17,000, and I will not have $17,000. I will not have $17,000 for the runoff. But I don't need money to win this. I just need people to mobilize and be passionate to believe in me, to go out and vote. The extra thing that I'm asking people to do, because a week before election day, I did a lot of my stuff on Facebook. Facebook shut down all political ads. That was a very cheap form of fundraising for my committee. Of advertising for my committee. And they are not gonna reopen ads until sometime late in December or maybe January. So the newest thing I've been asking my supporters to do is just like, share, and comment. You know, I know everybody, you do YouTube, you know the significance of liking, share, and comment. This is what I need you to do to support me in this campaign. So tomorrow, I will be at Pastor Johnny McGee's church at 4 o'clock. Because since Election Day, I've had an outpouring of support. I honestly have spent the last week and a half on the phone answering calls nonstop. And I have to get back to campaigning. I have to get back to meeting more people, especially in St. James Parish. So tomorrow, we're going to be at Pastor Johnny McGee's church in Magnolia Heights. The address is 1244 Magnolia Heights, and we're going to be there at 4 o'clock. We're going to have some light hors d'oeuvres and stuff for the guests that come out. But there you have the opportunity to meet me, to ask me any questions, to find out more about me, why I'm campaigning. After that, Sean asked me to come back out to Legends and, meet and greet the people. So I'll probably be out at Legends tomorrow after I leave Magnolia Heights. So, You know, if you are not doing anything tomorrow, if you're in St. James Parish, you know, you can come out to meet me over at Pastor McGee's church in Magnolia Heights, or you can drive down the street after, and I'm going to be hanging out a little while at Legends. You guys have been great. You guys have been supportive. Everybody's been amazing, and I am just trying to go where it's convenient for y'all to come out and meet me. Tell your friends and family. I'm in a sign war. You know, I've said it before during the primary. My signs kept disappearing. Some of my signs were literally cut off the post. So signs have been a battle, but after election day, my signs disappeared in massive numbers. But you know, everything in God's timing. So I am believing that, you know, everything happens for a reason. So we're getting some new signs in tomorrow. We are getting new push cards in tomorrow. So if you need a sign, I know a couple of people called me and said, Sherilyn, I don't know what happened to my sign. It disappeared out of my front yard. I know some were taken by well-meaning supporters who didn't realize I was in a runoff, and I've said, go put my signs back. But some were not my supporters, and we can't track down those signs. So if your signs disappeared, I know there's whole areas where signs are completely gone. Just contact me, contact my team. We will get a sign out to you ASAP. What else? On election day, we haven't secured a spot in St. John yet, and I'm going to tell you where the spot in St. James is going to be at a little later, but we did secure a spot in St. James, but we're going to be having a day party and a cookout in both parishes, so you can come out, support us, go live while you're out there with us. Tell your friends, if they have not voted, to come out and support us. You know, one of the things that I like to explain to people is I am running because I believe in equal rights. And a lot of times when I was working at the Fourth Circuit, my experience at the Fourth Circuit is the sole reason why I decided to run for the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeal. I really did not know Judge Gravois. I only knew him collectively through the opinions of the Fifth Circuit. And I had a lot of issues with there being a lack of diversity of thought on the Fifth Circuit. Because as a law clerk for the Fourth Circuit, we rely on each other's opinions. And I wanted to be able to draw from the Fifth Circuit. And I felt like I could never draw from that particular circuit. And that was our next door neighbor as a circuit court. You know, the Fourth Circuit is Orleans and Jefferson. The Fifth Circuit is Jefferson, St. Charles, St. John, where I lived, and St. James. And it bothered me that I could not even pull from the cases in my own hometown's jurisdiction. And so that is why I'm running. I did not know the scope of what I was getting myself into when I ran for judge. I did know that for the last 5 years, people strongly urged me not to do it. But since I stepped out on faith, I am learning so much. And, you know, a lot of it is heartbreaking. A lot of it weighs heavily on me. And so a lot of times you might see me walking around looking a little, you know, like I have a lot on my mind. I do have a lot on my mind because the stories I hear from people, a lot of the times they're heartbreaking. You know, I've stopped Judge Gravois supporters in a very kind, you know, friendly manner. I'm like, oh, I see you driving around in a truck. You know, I wanted to introduce myself. Here's a push card. You know, I said, you know, I'm running against your opponent, but I still want the opportunity to introduce myself to you. And Dave told me that, oh my gosh, I didn't know he was running against you. I need you to know who he's running against before you support him. You know, I have people saying a huge amount of my supporters are underground supporters. From the top to the bottom, I have a lot of underground supporters. Because for this reason or that, people are afraid to let people know that they're not supporting Gravois. You know, and I've said, you know, I probably even shouldn't say it on Facebook Live, but I've told people, I'm like, look, I'm moving like Harriet. I'm going to speak boldly like Ali. Take his money, vote for me. And I think that y'all listen. I think that y'all came out in large numbers and y'all voted for me. And while I'm out campaigning, I am going to continue to speak truth. I'm going to continue to say, this is why I'm running. You know, we can talk about all kinds of rights. We can talk, and it's politically correct to talk about women's rights. It's politically correct to say gay rights. It's politically correct to say women's rights. It's politically correct to say immigrant rights. But, you know, I like Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson. You know, he questions, why can't we say black rights? Why can't we say, like, why can't we only use civil rights? Civil is not a group of people. You know, I am running because I feel like laws should not be interpreted one way for certain groups of people and a different way for other groups of people. Plain and simple. And it's, you know, I do not believe that law should be interpreted one way for poor people and not interpreted another way for people with more money. I do not think that they should be interpreted one way for people in certain, you know, high crime neighborhoods and interpreted another way in people with nice manicured neighborhoods. And I cannot speak on political issues, but what I can say is I believe in equal rights. You know, I'm a Christian. I do not think law should be interpreted one way for Christians and one way for non-Christians. Law should be interpreted equally. And I'm coming as a candidate who, you know, I'm a lawyer, but I have 5 children, and now I'm a single mom, so I know what it is to struggle. You know, I can understand that, you know, what I like to say is Attorney Rob Snyder, you know, I thought he ran a good race. He spoke boldly throughout it while I was still trying to listen to my political advisor saying, Sherilyn, just smile. Just put on some red lipstick and just smile. Yeah, I tried, but it wasn't me. And at a point, you know, I just said, if I'm going to win this race or lose this race, I got to be my authentic self. But Rob Snyder, he ran against Judge Perilou last election season, and he challenged him. And he challenged him because he believed that he wasn't qualified to run for, you know, different reasons. The reason that he chose to challenge him on had already been established with the law as he's allowed to run despite this issue. You know, but a lot of times people argue and they just are like, he made the argument in good faith. Or that is what the court ultimately determined. But Rob Snyder said repeatedly during the campaign that he was running because he felt like his experience at the Fifth Circuit was, I'm just going to say, demeaning. He was very upset with the way that he was treated on the Fifth Circuit. I read the opinion, and Judge Mark Johnson was the only one who thought that fining him $2,500 for taking up an appeal when he did it in good faith was not appropriate. All the other judges fined him and agreed. And it was that type of thing, reading case like that, case after case after case after case like that, where it was usually only one judge, or maybe, you know, not always the same judge, but often one judge that would see things from the perspective of people who, you know, may not have as much money or may not come from the best neighborhood, or, you know, for whatever reason. That one judge did not side with the other judges. It went up to the Supreme Court. He said why he didn't side with other judges, and the Supreme Court agreed, and Rob Snyder ran just for that issue. And I only bring it up because I say Rob Snyder only ran because of his one case before the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeal. You know, I can pinpoint certain cases. I've talked about the case. I've talked about it. You can go back and watch my video where I gave you 2 examples of the same organization making the same arguments before the Fourth Circuit, where my judge had to write the opinion and I helped her write it. and the Fifth Circuit, and it dealt with it dealt with it dealt with the law that has now been overturned on the grounds of being unconstitutional. And I talk about how we dealt with it, how we said we put the defendant's argument in, and how the Fifth Circuit dealt with it. And they just dismissed the defendant's argument and said it's already been ruled on. Those are the things that I'm going to bring to the court. Those are the distinctions I'm going to make. That's the way I'm going to make sure everybody's voice is heard. And that's how I'm going to bring a unique perspective to the court. And did not run because of Rob Snyder's case, because I was no longer at the Fifth Circuit or at the Fourth Circuit during his election. Not running for the case I talked about, but I am running because of case after case after case where I felt like most of the judges were just agreeing with each other, and there were not a lot of real distinctive voices to challenge the status quo. And so, now we're in a runoff. It's just the two of us. It's just myself and Judge Gravois. I encourage you, if you have any questions, if you want to reach out to me, I will be going on Facebook Live every Saturday night. It may not always be from the comfort of my home because I'm usually campaigning late into the night on the weekend. So I might be in the car, but I wanted to make sure I got to you guys live tonight. On Monday, I will be at the tech school, at the Votech School in St. John. Introducing myself to the NAACP. So if any of you want to go out there, I will be there introducing myself. I have a couple of other events planned throughout the week. If you know men, because I keep running into men who cannot vote right now. I haven't met any women, so I'm using men. I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but I have met a lot of men who aren't able to vote right now. They've checked with their probation officer. They're not qualified, but they want to support me in one way or the other. And what I've been telling them is you can still exercise your right to make a difference in the community. You can still tell your friends and your family to vote for me. You can still come out, wave signs, support me in other ways. And they've been really good about that. So if you have friends and family who, for whatever reason, it is... I almost forgot. Today is the last day to register to vote if you want to vote in the general election on December 5th. But if they missed the deadline, if they already missed the deadline, I would be saying to them, you can still help Sherilyn make it to the finish line. But let me interrupt myself here and say, if you have not registered to vote, if you know people who have not registered to vote, if you know teenagers who just turned 18, get them to register to vote tonight at govote.com. GEAUX govote.com. I will put the link in the comments when I finish this because I don't want to forget that. The last two times Judge Gravois ran, very few people came out to vote. In St. John, we will be the only two people on the ballot. My ballot number is still the same. My ballot number is 60. But you will not see people on every corner running for every office reminding you to get out and vote. So I need y'all to get out, mark it on your calendar, set your alarm. Starting next Friday, early voting starts. What else? I do not want to go through too much tonight. If there's some things that I forgot, I will definitely pop in during the week and do some quick lives because, like I said, Facebook is not running any political ads through the end of this election. I know people they come to me and they say you need commercials and you need a lot of things that my committee probably will not be able to do in such a short time period. But what you can continue to do is you can continue to spread by word of mouth. I know St. John and St. James are not huge communities. I know everybody knows everybody. I know every time when I go out, I meet a lot of the same people over and over again. You know, I heard so many times tonight, oh, sis, we got your back. Like, we're going to go out to vote when it's voting. Tell them when voting is. Tell them when early voting is. Tell them election day is December 5th, but do not wait till December 5th if you do not have to wait till December 5th. I know a lot of people encourage mail-in voting. I say if you absentee voted before the election, do it. But if you can get out to vote and you don't have any high-risk health concerns, you can wear a mask, you can socially distance. At least when you go and you vote in person and you vote with the machine, you know your vote will definitely be counted. And it's my understanding that the district races, all of them were won or lost by a couple of votes. So every vote needs to count. So make sure that you're getting out. If you can, you're voting in person, you're voting early. If you're in St. John or St. James, remember you can vote in more than one place. So St. John especially gets really crowded on the East Bank, but there's rarely a line in Edgard. Take the time and drive to Edgard so that you can be more socially distant and get in and get out real quick to cast your vote. If anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and post them and I'll answer the questions. I did want to do this because I did listen to my team a little bit. But this I love. So I like I said, I've been doing the pop-up shops, met some great people, bought some great stuff. Melanin Pop, met them a couple of times. I love the makeup. It's better than MAC and it's lightweight. And I feel like I'm wearing nothing, so I don't feel like icky because I'm wearing makeup. My girl Christina, I got some of her stuff last week. Candle smells amazing. Blossom Bloom candles. There's another pop-up shop next weekend, of course, at Choice. I'll probably be there on Saturday, at least for a little bit. My deepest sympathy and condolences to the Burrow family. I saw Miss Burrow at the pop-up shop last Saturday. That was my last stop. And she said, you know, my boys will be supporting you. Make sure Ali and Akeem, you know, they're going to be there with you every step of the way. You know, try my niece's food. It was great. It was great. Ran my pressure up, but it was really, really good. And I know the community will sincerely miss her. She's definitely a treasure and a gem. And I don't want to get off without sending my deepest condolences to the Burrow family. What else? So that's it. Remember, I'll be in Vacherie tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Pastor McGee's church with the NAACP, 7 o'clock Monday night. Every Saturday night I'm going to be going live. I will also be at Legends tomorrow night. If there's any event that you want me to swing through, meet your family, meet your friends, just let me know. I will do my best to be there. I still have COVID concerns, so I have not and I will not throughout this election knock on anybody's door. So I talk to people that I see outside. I talk to people that I see grocery shopping. That is what I will continue to do, because putting anybody's life at risk on my team or in the community is not anything that I want to do. So we try to stay masked up and we try to be socially distant and responsible. So if you want to do a live session with your family and friends, we've been doing those as needed. Let me know. Inbox me. Say, Sherilyn, I want you to meet my family and friends. Can we do a live? And we will make it happen. Just let me know. I wanted to put that out there because I haven't shared that in a while, but that is something we're continuing to do for anybody who wants it. And that's it. I don't want to keep y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Remember, early voting starts on Friday. It ends November 28th. Goes all through election. If you want to volunteer to help the campaign, because I am not Judge Gravois, I do not have $17,000 to pay volunteers, workers. I do not have that kind of money to pay workers. So if you want to volunteer for my campaign, inbox me or go to our website, www.smiles4judge.com. We will be needing poll watchers. We will be needing people to man our day parties on election day. We'll be needing people to help, you know, show a presence in the mornings and afternoons whenever you're available, early voting days, because a lot of people don't remember to vote until they see us outside. And like I said, there won't be people campaigning from 10 different races. It's just going to be our race. My ballot number is the same. It's still 60 miles. You know, I'm still running this marathon, and we're in the sprint. We're in the sprint right now, so my ballot number is 60. But like I said, it's only going to be the two of us on the ballot, so you won't have a long ballot to roll through in a lot of places. A couple of places, a couple of precincts will have some local seats, but it will be a very short ballot this go around. So, you know, lines should move faster. Go in 60 miles and vote for me. And that is all. I do not see any questions. I do thank y'all for joining me. Like I said, comment, like, and share. Thanks for taking some time out on Saturday night to be with me. And let's do it. It's not over till it's over. So God bless.